G'day warbanders, and welcome back to another video on Eagle Day to Bombing the Reich, the strategic air war in the West, where we are managing the air force of the Americans and the British. It is turn 8, 24th of August, and we are continuing our campaign, bombing campaign of Germany, and of course France today. So we're gonna have a look at the bombing missions today. Another action-packed turn. It should be very interesting in the action phase. So we got our first raid today, 305th Bomber Group coming in around Paris. So I'm switching up my line of attack here to Paris because there's some pretty large factories, ball bearing factories, which is a type of part used in vehicles and aircraft. It's like these little ball things. It's debatable on whether bombing ball bearing factories had an effect on the Axis historically, but in the game it does have an effect. So we're going to be bombing that at 9 o'clock, roughly 9 o'clock, and then we're going to be over the target at 10. We have 45 Thunderbolts, but they're coming in a bit later. I don't think they're covering the entire journey. Okay, so the Thunderbolts, they are covering the entire journey with a couple of Spitfires, so that should help with the fighter coverage there. Obviously coming in at 20,000 feet or altitude, I feel like that's a good altitude to come at. It's like you hit your target, but you still get some protection from being high up in the sky. So I don't see a reason to change that just yet because it seems to be working for me. We have another raid coming in at another ball bearings factory. Sorry guys, I think I'm being sick. The Boys Columbus factory. We're going to bomb the shit out of that. Interestingly, we haven't been targeting ball bearings because they're a bit hard to get to, but I've noticed that there's some in France, so I thought I'd come in here and just take an opportunity here because again, we're focusing on that coastal strategy of bombing targets that are close, because after the disasters, as I said before, my previous videos, got to be careful. So precisionally bombing these targets, I think is going to be a better idea. And then we got night bombing raids, some pretty large ones in the 100 zones, spacing them out a bit, like at 1 hour intervals, primarily focusing on Essen because I still haven't really bombed that out too much. I'll show the damage later, the urban damage, but it still needs to be topped up. Coming on the same route, there should be some electronic countermeasures coming in to sort of jam all those night fighters and radar. And then we have another raid coming in with 95 Mitchells and some Mustangs, the meat shields as I like to call them. 90 Mustangs, 95 Mitchells coming in at 7 o'clock. So that's sort of another diversionary raid. I'm hoping they go off for that instead of my main raids. And then we have another attack on France. I think that's before yet. It's early in the morning, so another diversionary raid, but still it's an important target. Rubber factories are important. That's our main target, but this is a smaller factory. There's 12 AA guns there, heavy AA. We got 78 bombers coming in. They're actually Typhoons, so they should be able to get in and out very quickly. We have 80 fighters and escort, because I expect there to be a couple of fighters here. But I'm just expecting there to be less fighter coverage in this area because I've been bombing over here in the Netherlands and North Germany. So I'm anticipating that he will, take some out of France. So interesting to see what happens there. And then we're bombing Italy, bombing some primary airfields, just keeping it up with 72 Baltimore Vs. Again, as I said before in my previous videos, I just want to sort of control this southern area as much as possible. And interesting enough, the invasion of Italy is beginning soon. I have mandatory targets, so that's begun. I can only target specific facilities like primary airfields and infantry. So I'm beginning here, as you can see, the 12th Bomber Group with 64 B-25s coming in to bomb a Panzer troops or Panzer Grenadiers. So starting to begin that process of supporting the land invasion when it does happen. So we're sort of softening up the infantry. So I'm going to be bombing, you know, these troops, which are pretty numerous. Because if you attack these divisions, it's going to have an effect on the war effort when that begins. And then we're hitting a port in the Netherlands. That's coming in with 62 more orders. It should be an easy target, easy win. 60 Spitfires, some good Spitfires, in fact. That's coming in at 8 o'clock. 83rd Squadron. These are more night bombing actions, more Lancasters and Sterlings. Smaller raids, but again, I've spaced them out a little bit. I don't know why I set this one at 12,000 feet. That's a bit dangerous. It will mean more damage, but you know, I can't modify that now because I've already sent the turn through. And then we got some more bombing of Panzer Grenadier troops with a couple of fighter bombers. Again, just softening it up, getting Italy ready to be pounded by the Allied invasion. And then we got some night fighters hopefully trying to deal with the enemy night fighters. They're going along the route of the night bombing. So that should do well. And then we got some recon. And yeah, oh no, we have some huge fighter sweeps. So this is actually the biggest thing I want to talk about in this video, is my huge fighter sweeps happening in Italy. Just again, we got to clear out these Italian fighters. He's housing up 40 times fighters, large squadrons. I thought, okay, let's launch them up all at 6 o'clock. Hundreds of fighters, consisting of Spitfires, more Spitfires, a bunch of Lightnings, which are not that great in dogfighting, but I have 144 of them coming, so they should do some damage. And then we got 120 Kitty Hawk fighters. Not that great. It's an older fighter, I'm pretty sure, but I have 120 of them, so that they should have the numbers advantage. And more Spitfires. So I'm hitting all these airfields, which my recon tells me there's large fighter formations, enemy fighter formations in these airfields. And again, as I said in my previous video, we want to try and knock out the Italian Air Force as much as possible. And I know you saw in my previous videos, when I do fighter sweeps, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. I anticipate this will work because they're coming in early in the morning. I am using my numerical superiority here just to swarm the area, and hopefully I get them on the ground because I've hit the radar stations, so I will be on top of them before they even know I'm there. So hopefully that's the goal. And yeah, that's the missions for today. Not really huge bombing missions, but we still have some happening. Also, the cloud cover has been a big factor in my sort of decision making to attack France, because as you can see here, France is pretty clear today. The wind is moving northwest, so I won't get hit by cloud cover that much. So there should be no issues revolving around that. But as you can see here, it's a bit dicey to bomb in Germany today. Huge cloud cover coming. The wind's coming from the northwest. Let's see if it's coming. What's coming from the northwest? If I click on Central Europe. So yeah, it's fine. I could potentially bomb Germany if I wanted to, because the wind will move out of the way because it's heading from the northwest. But that's a gamble. You can't really accurately predict the weather like in real life. So you got to like take chances. But yeah, guys, I'll just quickly show you the urban damage that we've inflicted over the past couple of turns. So we'll look at the Ruhr region. And you're going to see some results. So this has grown. You can see the damage is increasing. Primarily, I am attacking Essen this turn because you can see that there's still not enough yellow. Yellow means it's partly damaged, and black means it's fully bombed out. And we can see that they have a flak battalion there, which is going to be a bit dangerous, but I'm willing to take the risk. We've done 30% damage to Essen, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, here we go, Essen area. Oh no, we've done 20% damage to Essen. And a lot of my raids are going into Essen today. So it'll be interesting to see if that changes over time. But yeah, let's start the playback and see what happens. Strategic Air War in the West. Yeah, we should be winning. Alrighty. Let's see if we can... I forgot when I set this. I think I set some raids at 6 o'clock, so that's when we're going to see some action. I got it at message level 2. That should be always sufficient, I think. Here we go. Some Typhoon raids coming across the English Channel. That's diversionary. Strafing some airfields in Italy. No resistance. Some lightnings were killed by flak. These are the fire sweeps I sent out early in the morning in Italy. Strafing airfields. No Italian fighters in the sky right now. Air guns have been destroyed. And these are like the shittier planes too. They're not like the best planes I have. So it's good that they're doing this damage. Yep. Very nice. Some destroyed by flak, but it's fine. Got some other fighter sweeps checking out some airfields. Typhoons reached the target. Hitting, what is that? Plastic factory. Forgot what that was. But yeah, no resistance on that one. He must know that's a diversionary raid. So he is adjusting. These are just recon planes here. Destroying some 88, so that's some pretty heavy material there. 88, guns have a large effect stat, so, they're pretty dangerous. But it's good we're taking some of them out. Diving to attack with some escorts. Again, any damage can help. Let's see. Again, no one's coming out yet. Damn. You can see here I've bombed the entire coast, so I'm slowly making progress here. Strafing another airfield. 24 Spitfires coming in. 2 destroyed by flak. Damn. Flak losses have been heavy lately. Again, I'm hitting all these aircraft from the ground. That's very nice. Kitty Hawk 3s coming in. Strafing more airfields. Lots of enemy aircraft on the ground. They're not even scrambled. The perks of destroying radar stations. Fuck them up. Fuck them up. Boys. Yeah. Eat that, spaghetti monsters. Bombing some radar stations. Again, trying to keep up the maintenance of, keeping that radar coverage down. Because those radar stations do repair themselves quickly. We'll be diving to attack here. We're diving to attack some infantry here. Infantry division. I believe this was some fighter bombers. If I was looking right. Destroyed some... What's an AFV? I think that's a armored vehicle. Armored fighting vehicle, yep. Strafing Bari airfield. Again, it's really surprising he hasn't scrambled any aircraft. Me hitting those rail stations have paid off. And you'll see in the KD ratio, it's looking very fine. A big, I think I killed around 60 to 70 Italian aircraft on the ground. And that is just amazing. I'm very surprised he wasn't able to scramble up anything to meet these Spitfires I put out on fighter sweeps. So this is a good decision on my part. Now we've got our bombing raids coming across to Italy after that slaughter on the airfields. Lots of Spitfire on the runway. Unlucky. Mitchell's bombing some Panzer Grenadier troops. No resistance. Again, it's going very well. We lost a Mitchell to flak, I think. One crashed over the Italian countryside. And we got another wave of bombers coming in. Bombing through cloud cover on one of the Baltimores near Condenza. coming through cloud cover. Hopefully they still hit the target. There's a chance they will. Looks like they missed. I have to check the action report. Bombing an airfield, keeping it up. No Italian aircraft. That is insane. No resistance. He must have given up and trying to defend this area. But we are losing some to flak, it seems, because there's some damage in our plane. So we got some Mitchells. This was a diversionary raid. He scrambled up some BFY-9s. He's got some 190s coming in from another airfield. They made it to the target with the petrol station. Two 190s hit by friendly fire. Two Mitchells, 3 Mitchells destroyed by flak. So taking a beating here. On the return journey, here come the 190s, destroying some Mitchells. This is going to be pretty bloody because we have no escorts on these dudes, I don't think. Because I'm not seeing any interceptions with any escorts, so I assume this is the window where they're coming in and just killing them. But I'm fine with this. This was a diversionary raid. Wasn't the most important raid of today. But yeah, they're just going to get annihilated here. The Mitchell is a sort of smaller bomber that can't take the heat. Looks like he sent a bunch of squadrons up. He's got more on the way coming in from Rowan, for France City, near that area. On the tail of our bombers right now. Can they return home without taking too many losses? I don't think so. There's 190 still getting in there. I haven't killed a single one. So this is very deadly. Again, I didn't expect him to field so many fighters in Normandy and Paris. I didn't expect him to have such large formations here. And this, I'm paying the price here. I'm not considering that. But, you know, war is a gamble. Or everything's a gamble in life. And this was a gamble. But they got to the target. Oh, we destroyed a 190 with a bomber. That's nice, at least. Yeah, they're getting torn up. That was our heaviest side of casualties for today. 18 190s coming in on Mustang squadron. So the Mustangs are finally here defending the bombers. 3 of them destroyed. Terrible fighter. Terrible. Absolutely horrid. I don't know of the real life performance of the Mustang. I have to look it up on Wikipedia or something. But holy shit, the Mustangs cannot defend themselves. But this is planned. It's all been planned, guys. Don't worry. All been planned from the start. The Mustangs, they're going to be used up in defending bomber squadrons. But okay, here we got the B-17s coming in across the channel. So they're coming in as they're tangling with the smaller bombers here. So this is exactly what I want, for them to be distracted by this diversionary raid. He's scrambled all his fighters here. Granted, I am losing a big chunk of material here, but that material is Mustangs and a smaller type of bomber, which I'm not really that concerned about. I'm going to be a bit more concerned if he kills this B-17 fortress here, this squadron of fortresses. So more Mitchells are getting annihilated. Some of them returning back to base. A lot of squadrons here. You can see that they're going back. Mustangs are still tangling. Losing, as always. Even against 190s. The Mustang, terrible fighter. Absolutely terrible. But understandably, I have set my fighters lately to close escort. So when they're in close escort with the bombers, they have a disadvantage. Because usually when you're attacking with BFY-9s, you're coming from a high altitude. And you just come screaming down. And this is, I think he's chosen that tactic of going after the Mustangs instead of the bombers, because there's like 4 or 3 tactics you can choose from. And finally, our Mustangs are fighting back, and they damaged a 190. It only took like 20 or 30 casualties for them to do that. 2 Mustangs damaged. Huge tangle over Normandy. Did not expect this at all. This is a very eventful game. Every turn is like a new game, bro. Like, I did not expect this to be so action-packed. 1 Mustang destroyed. Oh. Still fighting. Still over Rowan. So our squadron here is still trying to get back to base. Oh, Mustangs are fighting back. We killed 2 190s. At least that's something. Come on. Come on, Mustangs. Please. Please, bro. Kill something. Come on. They're returning back to base. Okay, a lot of them are peeling off from their squadrons. So that tells me that our B-17s here will have a free run on their target, the ball bearings factory in Paris. Eventually, France will be ours as the campaign progresses. We might even get it more quickly if we support the invasion, the Normandy invasion, which happens in 1944 or something like that. But that's still a long way away. Okay, the BFY-9s, they're getting tired. They're returning back to base. We did kill a couple there, I saw. But the BFY-9s definitely have a better KD right now. Here comes the main raid, heading for the ball bearings factory. Everyone's gone back to base. This is exactly what I wanted. They hit up that diversionary raid, and now we're coming in with the huge 100 bomber raid. B-26 is coming over Amsterdam, bombing, I think that's, port. We're bombing a pretty decent capacity fort there. Our Spitfires are coming and strafing some rail yards, because why not? I didn't tell him to do that, by the way. He's scrambled some BFY-9s in the local area. I did not expect him to have that much coverage here, but he did. So he does have some fighters hanging around here. I did have some escorts though, so they should be able to hold themselves. Oh, we killed a BFY-9 while they were chasing after those B-25s, was it? Yeah, B-26s, sorry. So they are somewhat holding their own. Hopefully they can get back across the channel. 190 is coming in. Oh, I lost a Marauder. Marauder's a fast bomber, but can't keep up, with the pressure of the BFY-9s, as usual. Our fighters, we destroyed 3 190s, screaming in, and they just got annihilated. That's good. So that's a good KD right now. Considering that I didn't send that many fighters with them. Yeah, B-17s, completely unmolested right now, bombing a large ball bearings factory, killing a balls factory. One was destroyed by flak, unfortunately, to be expected. They hit the target, no misses, and considering the outline of red, looks like we destroyed it pretty well. Spitfires are tangling with BFY-9s. One was destroyed. Got a big fight happening over the Netherlands coast here. English Channel, I believe. Yep. Spitfires cannot get a kill. Must be because they have the numbers advantage. At least the Spitfires are protecting the bombers. Come on. And they're returning back to base. 3 BFY-9s screaming in. Killed another Spitfire. The Spitfires are having a terrible day today. No kills on that side of the Spitfires. Must be the variant. We got another wave of bombers coming in across the coast. That main squadron made it back with only 1 casualty or so. That's an amazing raid right there. That's masterclass raid right there. Masterclass. And then we got another raid coming in Paris and no resistance. They must be still refueling. Oh, here they come. They're finally scrambling. And they went back to base. Strange. Bombing another ball bearings factory. Hit the target. Very nice. And this is a sort of deep raid too. This is not a coastal target. This is into France, which, the more you go over enemy territory, the more dangerous it becomes. You can see the outline of red. That means I've completely flattened it where it doesn't work anymore. So that's good. Some of our escorts are going down to strafe a rail yard. I don't want them to do that, but that's fine. Whatever damage they can do. I believe this is recon, this one. Don't worry about that. Oh, we lost the fortress. It crashed in Paris. Damn it. Another crashed in, what's that? Copen, some French city near there. Where the box shows is where they crash. That's interesting. Yeah, no escorts were able, no BFY-9s were scrambled to deal with those 2 large B-17 fortresses. That's amazing. So that was a really successful combo of raids there. And we got some recon as usual. We lost the fortress on the runway, but the pilot is okay. The crew. Another fortress is crashed, wounded. Yeah, we got a few crashing fortresses here, which is not nice. Another one, so that's like 4 or 5 right now, so that's not good, but hey, that's historically accurate. Spinning up more recon. We're heading into 12 o'clock right now. More recon across Italy. Just keeping up that maintenance of recon so we get accurate photos and accurate bombing. I'm very happy I killed a large chunk of Italian fighters in these airfields. I don't know why I didn't move them, but he still kept them there, and I was able at 6 o'clock just to strafe all these airfields and take them out. I didn't kill everything. You'll see that there's still some left over, but you know, I killed a big chunk of Italian, of the Italian Air Force, and that's very nice. That's like, even if I fail my Paris raids, like I'm just happy alone that I strafed a bunch of Italian fighters on the ground. That is just so lucky that he did not respond to that at all. Again, I think it comes down to bombing radar stations. I think that helps. Like, sure, these like inland ones, like the bigger ones, they have like a bigger range, like a huge range. But I think the less radar stations he has, it works. Like it works less better. Like, so you basically hit radar stations if you can, if you have the resources like I do right now. We're heading into night bombing, so I'll catch you later in the after action report. And alright boys, we're in the after action stage of the video, and let's take a look at our losses first. The big stat. It's looking pretty good, guys. It's looking pretty good. We traded evenly. And again, people may go like, oh, Warband, why are you losing so many planes, bro? You should be losing like 10. Well, it's really hard when you're attacking. You're going to take losses. And strategically, when you're the attacker, you have more men and material, so you can afford to trade at an even rate like I am doing right now. This is ideal. But the main chunk of those losses were Italian fighters. So I killed, must be around in the, I'm not going to count it all up because I'm bad at maths, but that is about in the 60 range. Yeah, 60 to 70 Italian fighters were killed on the ground right now. That is insane. That's like the best result I've ever had in this game. 70 fighters killed on the ground. That's or 60 to 70. That's insane. So I killed these MC202s, Folgors, 43 of them killed on the ground. None were launched from the airfields, and that's very nice. We lost 15 Mitchells, so that was our biggest losses today. That raid over Paris with those Mitchells, there were some death coffins right there. 15 of them dead. 2 Mitchell B-25 Mitchells. 5 Marauders killed, not too bad. Lost only 4 fortresses, not too bad considering the amount of raids we sent today. Lost 4 Lightnings, 1 Kitty Hawk, a couple of Spitfires, not too many. 16 Mustangs, still a pretty heavy casualty rate for Mustangs. We lost 54. This is probably our largest casualty rate for fighters, the Mustang 1. It's a terrible plane, so it's not the pilot's fault, I don't think. 48 Typhoons lost in the campaign, but we lost 0, so that's good. We didn't lose anything in the Typhoons. We lost a Wellington electronic warfare plane, only 1. Anything else we lost? So we lost a couple of Sterlings. Must have been from the nighttime actions. and a couple of Lancasters. Not too bad. Not too bad. We killed a bunch. We killed a couple of BF-110s in the nighttime action, I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, we didn't kill that many BF-109s. We just killed one and 6 190s. So that's not a good result in terms of killing a German aircraft. But today was a black day for the Italian Air Force. We killed a lot on the ground, and that will help us immensely going forward in the Italian theater, hopefully. But again, he can shift his BF-109s, so I do want to see more BF-109 kills here. You know, the BF-109 is one of his most powerful planes right now. He can research, you know, jet fighters, so hopefully we can, you know, destroy a chunk of his air force before he gets to that level. Because, you know, we can't develop jet fighters, I don't think. And jet fighters are like amazing, so I don't know. Let's have a look at the action reports of our missions. Let's look at our highest raids today. So 159 bombers over Paris. We did 83% damage, lost 3 bombers, lost 2 fighters, not too bad. 83% damage. 147 B-17s over Columbus, another ball bearings factory, 98% damage, very nice. Then we had some nighttime actions over Essen, dealt some urban damage there. Lost a couple to night fighters, like 3 of them, not too bad. Oil service facility, targeted that with a couple of bombers there. Lost 18 Mustangs, so that was the Mitchell raid. 15 Mitchells dead. So that wasn't an amazing raid, but it was a diversionary raid. So that was to be expected. I needed more fighter coverage on that one, ideally, if I wanted them to survive longer. And what's this raid? A small rubber factory we hit with, I'm pretty sure that was Typhoons. Lost 3 fighters, not too bad. Completely destroyed. Bombed an airfield, only did 11% damage, pretty poor, if you ask me. We hit the Panzer Grenadier troops, only 5% damage, not that good. But I'm actually fine with that because we lost 2 bombers trading for that, so actually that's probably a bad thing. But hey, it's an RNG game sometimes. Go deal with the RNG sometimes. This is over Amsterdam. Did 99% damage to the port. That's what our recon tells us. With only 62 bombers, we lost 5 bombers. That's a good trade. More raids over Essen. Dealing some 20% damage, it seems. So, but we lost a lot of them to night fighters, it seems. 12 of them. So this is probably getting a bit more dangerous than I like it to be. Maybe we shouldn't keep sending air raids in this area at night, because this tells me that it's not working. 12 bombers is too much to lose over in night raids. Ideally, we should be losing like 1 or 2 in night raids, so that's not a good result there. Hit the 29th Panzer Grenadier Division. Only 16% damage. With 38 air guns there. Jeez. Didn't lose anything though. But these were smaller raids, so to be expected. We hit a rail station, did full damage. And then our night fighters over Essen. Looks like we killed a few on the ground. Some of our night fighters that were automatically sent by the AI, I set some night fighting actions to AI mode, and some of them killed some on the primary airfield, it seems, because I sent some of them to primary airfields, and it seems like they got a couple of kills, so that's nice. Seems like there's 40 aircraft on that airfield right there, the Venlo. And I think that's it for today. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And let's have a look at our air units. See how they're faring, like the most popular things we're using right now. Let's have a look. This is a quick gander. So the pool, we still have 284 bombers in the pool. 217 in the pool of liberators, 47 Mitchells, 131 marauders in the pool. So we can take losses. We can take them. So these numbers here, I'm pretty sure are accurate. Like that's how many we have to give to these squadrons. And you can see that most of them are pretty full strength. So we're doing okay. Our B-17 fortresses here, like some of the squadrons seem to be under strength. I don't know why. They must be repairing themselves. Let's click on them. See what's happening. So yeah, so 22 are being repaired right now. So yeah, some of them are being repaired from the damage they received. So it doesn't mean I don't have any bombers. It means that it takes time to, repair some of these squadrons. So that's to be expected. So doing all right on production side. The war of attrition. Let's have a quick gander at the campaign summary. Oh, we have 4,502 aircraft. He has 3,486. So I swear that number's gone up. So we have a larger score in terms of ready aircraft. Very nice. How are we going on the overall air losses? So still a relatively so he's lost 340 aircraft. I've lost 586. So still I am on the losing side in terms of aircraft loss, but it always depends on what type of aircraft I'm losing. Like I don't really care if I'm losing Mustangs, and that's making up a big chunk of my losses. So I would take these high losses at a grain of salt sometimes. You can see that even the stats tell me highest aircraft losses, Mustang 1. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be going into turn 9. It's going to get more interesting. But yeah, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.